Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true and welcome to Victoria 2, a Paradox grand strategy game I've never played before, but Victoria 3 is a matter of weeks away, so I thought, you know what, I should probably dip my toe in the water so I know roughly what I'm getting into, and I will say, I'm a bit sad I never really found time to get into Victoria 2, because it does rather appeal. If I've understood this right, this is a game much more about detailed economic models, trading, production, all the rest of it, and as somebody who, you know, loves spreadsheets, oh well, that's just the thing, isn't it? And bloody hell is the world map a little bit on the big side, so okay, all sorts of choices for who we could be. And then of course over on the left here, we've got all the big powerful nations, the big players. But no. I want to be somebody right on the edge of Europe, alright? A minor player, but with the potential to be something better. Here we go, Portugal. Officially a secondary power, not one of the big players in the world, but one of the second tier instead. In fact, to be precise, the 12th most powerful nation on Earth. But, I feel like these guys have got potential. Consider them over here, next to, say, yes, nations above them that are officially more prestigious. Portugal's economy is looking pretty good. Portugal's military, looking fine as well. I think these guys could do really nicely if I invest in their people, their economy, all the rest of it, because as I understand it, that's the entire point of this game. Fine, you can go to war, but that's not really the best solution. In many cases, if you are a prosperous, industrialized, enlightened nation, you will find yourself a powerhouse anyway. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Portugal and raise them up those rankings, see if we can sneak them into the top 10 in the world. Okay, I'm going to be honest, it hasn't started well, because I literally just pressed play, and Portugal seems to have dropped to 13. So, okay, I've not done a good job managing them in the 2 seconds I've been in control. Yep, somehow or another, in the first second of the game, Mexico managed to leapfrog me, because, yes, as I understand it, this is the one that matters, sort by rank. Because the top 8 nations in the world, it's a blend of military and prestige and economy. So that middle one, that's the one I think could work out well for me. And, okay, let's not drop out to the top 15. Let's make that the starting objective. Alright, maybe top 10 was a bit optimistic. So, this here in green is Portugal, and if you know this game very well, I'm going to suggest you cover your ears right now, because I'm going to explain it, and I'm going to get everything wrong, and it's going to hurt you. So, this game, like many Paradox games, divides the map into tiny sub-regions. These sub-regions appear to contain 2 things of note. One, they contain a resource, in the same way that, say, in Imperator Rome, there was one main resource in a particular area. So if we just go into the resource map mode, yes, up here in the north of Portugal, it's all about food production. This territory of Porto produces fruit, so as a result of that, its population is overwhelmingly farmers. And in fact, that's what the majority of Portugal is all about. We have got plenty of grain, we have got plenty of fruit. So our workforce is heavily biased towards farmers, because that's what primarily needs doing. We just have food that needs growing and picking. And we're gonna need to change that, alright? But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We were saying earlier, this is all about the economy, and yes, this is where things start getting, complicated. Farmers aren't simple chaps, no. They've got hopes and dreams and aspirations and some very varied tastes. So if we just open up the population statistics, yes, this does make my Excel loving a heart sing, but just a bit to get your heads round. So as I was saying, farmers, huge numbers of people inside that particular social group. Go into the farmers, however, and yeah, this isn't like Stellaris, where pops just need some food and some generic consumer goods to be happy. In this game, they need all sorts of bits and pieces. Like tens of goods if they want to be as happy as they can possibly be. So the farmer gets paid a wage for picking the fruit and then has to go to the market to buy what he needs to survive and then feel comfortable and then feel downright luxurious. So he does have to buy some of the food he picked back again. This isn't like Stellaris, where because I am the all-seeing, all-powerful god government, every resource in my empire comes to me, then I redistribute it as I see fit. Instead, in this game, every pop needs to engage with the markets. So here we go, down over here in trade, the common market. So the local economy. And we are swimming in fruit. Why? Because we produce way more of it than the local population actually needs to survive. Anything that doesn't get bought locally gets sold internationally. But lots of people are growing fruit. Alright, not hard to grow. As a result of that, yes, unfortunately, there's probably not too much money being made here. What we really need ideally is to start working towards, yes, some more advanced commodities. Stuff that gets produced, then can be sold abroad for much more money. And I appear to only have 2 resources actually worth anything good in Portugal. Sheep for wool and iron. Okay, now that's the interesting one, isn't it? Okay, I say that. Actually, wool appears to be, yes, kind of worthless. And also my plans for a woolly jumper factory appear to be not getting off the ground. Because, yes, you need cotton to make fabric and fabric to make clothing. Apparently, yes, wool garments, just not a thing we can take into the big, exciting, sexy industrialization phase. And as for the iron, only 2.5 people live in this territory, so we're basically not producing any. Okay, so Portugal's a complete economic basket case. We're absolutely doomed. Although I can't help but notice one thing over here in trade, which is... Okay, should have checked this earlier. I suspect, given that, yes, I apparently have access to coffee and tobacco in my common market. I've got colonies, don't I? I'm going to be honest, my knowledge of 19th century history is slightly lacking, so I'm not 100% sure what Portugal was still in possession or not in possession of when it came to the 19th century. So, okay, hang about, go over to... Oh, that's better. Okay, this map mode suggests I own stuff in the areas I can see. Oh, good. A series of small islands that just produce yet more cooking fruit. Huzzah. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is the good one. This is where the coffee's coming from. And okay, no wonder we got troops sitting on it. This place is generating a lot of coffee. Round the corner on the other side of Africa, yeah, we're producing some tobacco, not as much. The coffee trade's definitely the big one. Oh, bloody hell, okay. We've got tiny outposts everywhere. Some of them are functionally useless, though. Tiny amounts of tea over here, but okay. Okay. Over here, things get a bit more interesting. Because that's timber. Now, that we can use. Here we go. Back in the very first territory we looked at, we've got a handful of craftsmen here. But they're producing chairs. Oh, that's the good stuff. That's in a high demand. That's generating a lot more money. Okay. Conclusions. 1. Portugal is food rich, we are making a big food surplus, we are selling it, we are making good money off that. 2. Coffee. That's the big one that our traders are getting rich off, so more farming and more coffee. Over to technology. Practical steam engine. Farming output 75% up. Get it done. Alright, let's mechanize farming. And as for the coffee, we need more of it. So okay. Okay, buddy, hang on, that's not where the coffee was. Where was the coffee? It was right here. And I can't help but notice there's more coffee next door and nobody lives here. Okay, when I say nobody lives here, what I mean is 30,000 people live here. But they don't have guns, and it's the 19th century, and I'm going to feel really bad about this, but I really want that coffee, okay? Gosh darn it, I've been outwitted by the 30,000 people. As it turns out, I can't colonize here because the life rating is too low. Okay, we might have to come back for that coffee later. Oh, now this is more like it the other side, next to, yes, many of my existing holdings. There is a whole bunch more tobacco here. Like, yeah, this tobacco territory has only got, 30-odd thousand people in it. This one, 35. This is over 50,000 people. So, colonize this, set the national focus. So, okay, so I could do other things with my national focus, or instead, I could just focus on colonizing Zomba. So, the alternative would be encouraging people to change their jobs. Focus on, yes, dealing with this. That's going to take only a handful of years. That's fine. Okay, the problem is it's going to take us too long to discover the steam engine because my people are absolutely dumb as a bag of hammers. Only 13% of the bastards can read. And right now we are making good money thanks to all of the tobacco and coffee and all the rest of it. Though, bear in mind, I'm not getting that money. I'm just taxing the people that have it. So, as a result of that, yes, we're making a little bit of money. Whack up education. How much would that cost? I could just maximize that right now. The administration is... that's how effective taxation is. I mean, logically, that kind of pays for itself, right? So if we just whack that up, then the tax rate should ultimately catch up. And if I want to make money in a hurry, yes, bear in mind there are tariffs. So if I want to, I can whack up the tariffs, basically meaning anything that people can't buy in the local market, if they want to either consume it or use it in their job, they've got to buy it on the international market. So if I whack up tariffs, I can make a large amount of money, but that's money coming straight out of the pockets of my people, and then they don't have money to buy things, and if they can't buy things from each other, then all of a sudden there's a financial crisis, and you know what, how about we just keep the tariffs nice and low? Okay, how long have I been talking? Because we've just got to January 2nd. We've made it 2 days, and bloody hell everyone's doing things. And now we just keep an eye on the economy because, yes, the market is incredibly dynamic. So the price of things just varies. Some days are good and I make loads of money. Some days are bad and suddenly I'm making a bit of a loss. But we're talking small potatoes versus, my national balance, and I say that. Okay, so it took me 8 days to crash the economy. Why am I suddenly losing a huge amount of money, precisely? Also, who wants to talk? The Zulu have offered us an alliance. Okay, we definitely border them down over here. And I can see the benefit of, them not attacking us. But, on the other hand, this could pull us into war with Britain. And I'm not 100% sure I want that. So, please don't attack me, but I'm not going to say yes. Oh, it's the national stockpile. Right, I think what's going on is... yes, we're trying to make sure we have enough money to cover the cost of the army should it need to do a thing. Yes, here we go. I'm sitting on a number of soldiers who are just chilling out doing nothing, but the fussy plebs are demanding food and boats and guns and bullets for their guns, and that's just being bloody greedy, and yeah, that means we need to be providing them with said things, and, okay. Well, we're buying those right now. We buy that. It goes into the stock. But then I think the military, takes it. Because presumably they're, using the canned goods to feed the soldiers. Then again, we could just... can we not just feed them the fruit? How has the economy crashed this badly already? What have I done wrong? Okay, it's the national stockpile. We can't be doing this much, okay? We're gonna have to be doing a little bit of national stockpiling. It's more important people can read. Please stop stockpiling for national stockpiling purposes. There we go, I fixed the economy by simply not stockpiling essential goods that we need in order to... the army just went red. The army went red because... oh, okay, that's the supplies that they need. Could we maybe, not have an army? Do we, really need an army? If I just get rid of them, can we just get them back later? In Crusader Kings. Oh, this is nice. The Netherlands want to offer us an alliance. And they're super chill with Britain. And honestly, pretty neutral with everybody else. Okay, I don't see that pulling me into a major war. I'm willing to say yes to that. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. If you just, like, go... I mean, that's disband. Removes it from the game. Reduces the amount of supply your nation has to spend on maintenance. That sounds good, actually. Like, right now, the only people I'm, you know, next to are Spain. And Spain seem to really like me. So, do I need an army? I think we take this money and we put it into the literacy programs instead. So you guys just go away. Now we keep an eye on the economy, which should now be doing much better because... Okay, we're still spending something. Oh dear, were they not the problem? I feel like they might have not been the problem. Also, I just remembered that, yes, part of the reason we're still spending money on troops is those were just the troops in, yes, Portugal. Still got troops elsewhere who are really sad. So, okay, the economy seems to be doing fine. We can have a little bit more money just going up to... Okay, if we break even, would that be fine? Cut back on the literacy program, like, a tiny amount. Maybe 50% stockpile seems good. Right? Okay, I've realised I may have made a slight error here, which is, if Spain does decide to invade, I now need to, yes, not just tell the army to come back, didn't just send them home and make them promise to come back later. I've officially disbanded the army, meaning now it would need to be reformed. So, the basic terrible troops need wool, which is fine. I've got some wool. If I wanted something good, like, say, you know, guys with guns, I don't have any guns. And I don't really have the economy to buy more on the market to stockpile them. So, that would cost me £1,000. Cavalry, that would be over £1,000. Artillery, £1,500. I really hope no one attacks me. Okay, I've just noticed Spain starting to move troops to my border, and I'm building more troops. Me and Spain are still cool, right? I'm just going to send someone to, you know, make them chill out a bit. We've got plenty of diplomatic points right now, so let's just, you know, make us super chill with each other. There we go, up to 70. Okay, they've now naffed off. I'm going to call this a huge win. Okay, you know what? I'm not 100% sure why, but the economy's been looking good for some time. So we're just going to slightly increase the national stockpile, given we probably should be, like, you know, keeping our ships and whatnot as they should be. You guys okay, by the way? Okay, so that's supplies. I think supplies just means... yeah, when they're away from friendly territory, those drain. Okay, that's going better now. How about, like, down over here? We got some troops over here, right? You guys are... Okay, yellow, but not red. So I'm going to call this a huge win. Okay, we've just slipped to 17th in the world. Denmark just overtook us. So, this isn't going desperately well, to be honest. Also, there's a lot of wars going on. Not 100%. Oh, blimey, that's probably quite a big one. Okay, hang on. The Netherlands versus... oh, surely you're not doing that well against Britain. Wait, hang on. Aren't you my... oh, bloody hell. I'm not in this war, right? They haven't actually, like... oh, hang on, the economy's suddenly going well. The cost of my military has just collapsed. So... I mean, okay, congratulations, you guys get fully funded, literacy programs through the roof, and tax cuts for everybody. To be honest, actually, everybody can now have a tax cut. Congratulations, it turns out I'm an economic genius. Okay, here's the problem, though. Right now, yeah, we just don't really have, anything in the way of factories. And I can't build factories. So, as a result of that... we need to encourage people who can. Apparently I have literally 0 capitalists, and they're the bastards who build the factories. And I kind of would like a factory, okay? That would be nice. Okay, new plan, tax haven. As of right now, there are 0 taxes on any aristocrats or capitalists. Alright, come on in, set up your factories. There are 0 taxes. Okay, the economy just crashed again, and I think I figured out what it is. Which is, yes, I have to spend, occasionally, like, £80 every day on clipper convoys, which I assume is something I am buying to support my colonies, but once they're bought and sent off, you don't need them again for a while. So, at that point, okay, hang on, just keep an eye on this. I suspect, for some reason, that's just going to go away, and then everything's going to be fine. You know, I'm just gonna slightly lower the amount of national stockpiling just for the second. But yes, clipper convoys. They are costing me a lot of money, and uh-oh, Britain, what is it? Britain wants military access. I am not saying no. You go right ahead. I'm really sorry I'm allied with the Netherlands. I kinda thought you and them were cool. Did not realise there was about to be trouble. Oh yeah, just to confirm, Belgium and the Netherlands are both very much on fire right now. In fact, they're both doing the classic Paradox counter-siege, where both armies have just headed into the other's territory, and now they're going to stand there and siege each other, and as soon as the siege is complete, I'm assuming they're going to trade positions and counter-siege each other, because why wouldn't they? Oh my goodness, there's an actual fight going on. Can't see the details, mine, but it looks like the Netherlands is losing, which is, unfortunate, given, as I say, they're kind of my only friend to the... Oh, hang on, we're almost bankrupt. Does anyone know where the money went? Because I swear I had, like, 2 grand just a second ago. Okay, we can't afford, like, the army anymore. So fine, sooner or later, like, we'll have bought the clippers we need, then the job will be done. Okay, guys, you have to pay, like, some tax. Not much, just a bit. Okay, good news and bad news. The good news is I think our colonization is now complete, and that should be a big injection of fresh tobacco. That's great. Bad news is, okay, I don't know where these guys are, but apparently they've gone bankrupt, have decided to write off their own debts unilaterally, meaning I've now got a casus belli against them. Don't have an army, so not sure that really helps much, but who are these guys precisely? Okay, more nations keep going bankrupt. This does just appear to be, fashionable at the moment. Okay, that's great game, but both of these tiny states are in fact allied with Prussia. I don't think we're ready to go to war with Prussia. Oh, also we're back up to 13. Does anybody know why? Because I don't know why. I think my prestige went up, but I'm not sure when that happened or what triggered it. Oh, I bet it was the colonization. Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. Okay, so we have now got Zomba as part of the Empire. Brilliant. Now, do I want to move over here and take these cows? Okay, don't worry about further expansion for now. Instead, we're going to encourage capitalists, because they're the only bastards who can actually make any factories in this entire bloody country, and we don't have any of them. So we need one capitalist, just one, to build all the factories. Oh, flip me, they're flying in. We've suddenly got... Oh, they're coming in by the day. Oh, it's working. Well, now, admittedly, they have to build factories. They haven't actually done anything yet. They're just, like, here. But the point is, we've now got some. Oh, flip me. It's working. It's working. We're actually getting factories. People are building factories. Not where I expected them to be perfectly honest, because... Okay, so someone's building a liquor factory, and... It's nothing but liquor factories. Okay, for some reason they're building nothing but liquor factories. Okay, it's nothing but booze. We are now a booze nation. Oh, and there's the practical steam engine. Okay, this is the point where everything explodes and the nation takes off and we become the most successful nation on Earth. This is going to be amazing. Look at the economy. It just exploded. That's probably more to do with the steam engine, which I think we've just been, yes, handing out for free to every farmer, because all of a sudden, oh yeah, the economy just went bananas. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Also, what's this? Why is there a project all of a sudden? I don't know. Right, I understand why you're doing a booze, though, because, yeah, that makes sense. We've got plenty of fruit. In fact, I'm surprised you're not doing, yes, more wineries. Given, yeah, the whole point is we've got way more fruit than we know what to do with. And, We've got some grain. I guess we've probably got way more grain now, thanks to those beautiful steam engines. But the glass, you're buying that from abroad right now, aren't you? I mean, it is pretty cheap, so it's not going to cause a huge problem if they just have to buy it. But I would rather make it locally if we can. Which actually, for some reason, a huge number of local artisans actually are. I mean, okay, that's good news, actually. Sorry, didn't realise that was actually one of our biggest industries. Also, cranes have started to appear. Not 100% sure why, to be honest. Like, Lisbon, okay, that makes sense. We're literally building factories right now, but Evora's just kind of empty. To be honest, it's just like farming, but okay, tariff policy. Gonna be honest, I'm not like 100% clear in my head. I know how tariffs work, so, okay, yeah, just leave them as they are. I don't really have a strong opinion here. Okay, I think we've now got enough capitalists. Like, 100 is fine, because we've already got, like, 4 factories being constructed. That's a-okay. In which case, here we go. So, we need to take this tropical wood and... Okay, I think I'm no longer a secondary power. Well, that's bloody embarrassing. So we need to re-raise the troops exclusively to look a bit tougher so that I can do colonization again. Brilliant. Here we go. Commence the training of irregulars. Because, yeah, we just need wool for them. So I assume they just go into combat wearing lovely warm jumpers. And it would appear the election has ended with a brand new ruling party. So, okay, the Liberals and anarcho-liberals. What does that mean for, like, us, precisely? Free trade, interventionism, a secularized residency, pro-military. That's not good news, actually, no. Well, okay, you know what? We're training new troops right now. It's fine. It's all going to be a-okay. We're really struggling to get the old, yes, country rating back up to secondary. So, I came up with a very good new idea. What if I simply went and got some prestige by rebuilding my army, which I can now afford, and going and bullying a small tiny nation that can't possibly defend itself? Oh, flip me. I think the factories coming through might just have pushed us over the line. We're back to 16, which is a secondary power. Top 8 is great. Next 8, that's your secondary. So, okay, before we lose that, get back over to here and... Hang on, why not? Oh, bloody hell, what do you mean the life rating's not good enough? Okay, focus on Africa. Zomba is doing really nicely. These days, that is generating a lot of money for us. We're going to take over this area. 70,000 people, plenty of grain, and we're now using that in our booze industry. So, this will still be useful, damn it. Meanwhile, just get them on the boat. And now the boat is going for a ride round to this lovely bit of the world because, oh yeah, here we go. The Zulu, who are just sitting on top of giant piles of wool that would be very, very useful indeed. So, okay, that's going to be ours now. So we could establish a protectorate, but that honestly doesn't generate much in the way of prestige. No, we're just conquering them. Apparently we've got no reason to do this, so that would lead to infamy. Don't really know what infamy does, but on the other hand, it gets me prestige. So we're going to be doing that, yes. Right, war has been declared. Don't know how war works, but I'm going to assume it's a paradox game, so I can just walk my troops straight into theirs, and probably we win because I've got 7 times as many. I really hope that's how it works, because otherwise we could be in a little bit of trouble, actually, yes. Okay, 20,000 troops on my side. Do they have guns? Because these are the units where, like, we didn't need guns for them, just wool. So, hopefully this is gonna go well, right? I mean, we seem to be shooting them so far. Okay, good, that seemed to go just fine. And now we just play the waiting game, just gotta siege the bastards down. Right, that's the entire nation occupied. And there we go, Zulu now belongs to me, giving me a big old pile of prestige. Brilliant. Oh yeah, now that's nice right there. And we are starting to generate large amounts of wool. We've also got, like, more elections going on, so that's nice too, I suppose. Okay, slight concern. There is, apparently some level of rebel faction going on right now. I'm guessing it might be the people we just conquered, right? Yep, Zulu nationalists. Not too surprising there. Oh, but here's something I've been looking forward to. Even more steam engines are arriving momentarily, causing the economy to immediately explode. Right now, oh yeah, literacy is almost at 15%. Number of research points coming in is just, that's looking sexy as anything. Do we even need taxes anymore? Okay, we need, like, some taxes, because that's actually the only source of money in the entire bloody empire. Oh, and it has taken a long bloody time, but we have finally, bloody finally, got the right combination of government and upper house to actually push through a handful of law changes. Because, yes, we've now got ourselves an upper house majority of liberals, which actually matches up with voter ideology. So we can actually push through some popular policies. Brilliant. Okay, the workers are most interested in outlawing slavery. And the people are actually pretty interested in that too. So, okay, we could do it. No more slavery. How much does my economy depend on slavery, by the way? Okay, there are a lot more slaves than I realised we had in the Empire, actually. There's over 200,000 of the bastards. Okay, well, you guys are now free. Congrats. Though, strangely, that appears to have knocked down the actual liberal proportion of the House. Okay, hang on. We only got that law passed because every single liberal voted for it. But as a result of that, like, a fifth of them have jumped ship to a party that didn't vote for it. But then if they didn't want to... I don't know what just happened in the upper house, but we just lost our majority somehow. And thus I'd say we've all learnt something here today, which is sometimes plans don't work out as you expect. I began today boldly promising that we were going to lead an enlightened, prosperous Portugal into the top 10 nations in the world. And instead I grew the fruit industry to a slightly farcical degree, propped up the economy with booze, and then waged a completely unjustifiable war for literally no reason other than because I wanted to show off to the other European nations. Still, it's not all bad. We completely outlawed slavery. I assume those slaves are now like farmers or something. So overall, I'd say I've done a good job, and you know what? I've had a nice time with this. It is a bit on the slow side, like when you're just waiting for an economic thing to come through, if you're not actually in a position to go to war, there doesn't seem to be that much going on. Crusader Kings really fills those gaps with all the character beats, whereas this game can sometimes feel a tiny bit empty. But I'm willing to forgive it that just because of the economy, the budget system, the trade, the flow of goods in industry, and 2-year pops and all the rest of it. That's just... oh, it's lovely. And it's got me very excited for Victoria 3. So, mission accomplished, and I'll be bringing you that just as soon as I'm able to. Hopefully, you are looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Victoria 2. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This guy's enjoying that. This guy's enjoying his elephant a bit too much.
Oh my god.
In Fair Verona, we set our scene. Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big.
They've managed to glitch inside one of the buildings. Elephants in the rear! And then in come the chariots!